Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Test. Good evening, good afternoon. Hello, Dene Yati. Say hi. Say what's up. Oh my God. Oh good. Ozzy, throw it in the comments. Doing Dene games, they started music. Baruch They're a documentary, I think. I don't know. Facebook has it's a daisy. Not sure. The thing I see there, that's the behind the music on the behind the artist. Behind the artist. Behind the artist. Behind the artist. What the? Bakudut ya jaza. Sounded. But anyways, Atlanot by Salotine. Kudun Zinige Saturday live. Yaze Hunthawas Donest and you know, one of the things Gani Seni either PA Nathi Yanyaza and a year ku se a Willie Bellied I Vanail Chui Banaya Takubana de Yeah, you know, another day probably in about 2 more weeks at Beline Lazan. Bahalias Tia Aiga. So stay tuned for that. Dre James Desjardins
Now,
years, yeah.
and sorry about that. Just trying to get used to this program. So today we're going to be joined by Mr. James Desjardins. He's our first artist that we signed. And a little bit about James is he was born in the northern city of Fort McMurray, Alberta. James is a talented musician of Dene descent, hailing from the Buffalo River Dene Nation. His musical journey began at the tender age of 10 when he picked up a guitar, and it wasn't long before his soulful voice found its way into his melodies. At the age of 17, James penned his first song, Drunken Love, showcasing an early knack for songwriting. This creative spark led him to dive deeper into his musical aspirations, and in 2019, he achieved a significant milestone by writing and recording his debut album, Black Patch Road. The album not only marked a personal triumph for James, but also demonstrated his ability to weave heartfelt stories through his music. James is not only just a studio artist, he has taken his music on the road, touring across the vast landscapes of
James
Canada.
Desjardins,
His
bro.
journey has
Don't
taken him to remote flying
What's
communities in
Calabali
northern
IT
Ontario,
Lenny?
where he shared his soulful tunes with diverse audiences, and he connected through that universal language we call music. On his musical odyssey, James has had the privilege of gracing the stage with iconic bands such as Streetheart, Trooper, Johnny Reed, and many others. These experiences have not only enriched his musical palette, but have also solidified his presence in the Canadian music scene. So, without further ado, please welcome Mr. James Desjardins. Now you're muted there, brother. I got you
Um,
here. There we go. How's it going?
there. Hey, everyone. Now you can finally hear me. How's it going, everybody? How you doing out there?
Yeah. So just before we start, a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions for
Sa
James,
boy
just throw
James,
them up in the
yeah,
chat. I'll be
tehet
able to read
muhaldia
them, and we'll get to a little bit of a Q and A here
barultana
in
dun
just
zinige Dene
a little
Yati
while.
aile hola.
But until then, James, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter of Dene descent from northern Saskatchewan, a small community called Dillon. It's Buffalo River Dene Nation is the name of the band, and I grew up. I think I moved back there when I was about 8 years old, and I've been there ever since. And it's just a beautiful part of the north.
And do you do a lot of work out here, hey, with your day job?
Yeah, my day job, I'm actually a heavy equipment operator, so I do get to listen to a lot of music, and I can pretty much sit in the cab of a machine and just sing for 12 hours straight. And then, so sometimes, actually, by the end of the day, you would get off work, and some days it would actually be pretty tough to just to go pick up a guitar. Like it's joyful, but at the same time, when you're working 12 hours a day and
Handsome guy
you
that
get up
James
at 5
Desjardins
a.m.,
is.
you get about maybe 3 to 4 hours a day just to, if you want to get like enough rest for your next day. So your personal time is very limited when you're out there.
Absolutely. So when you're in your unit and stuff, you're practicing your songs. What's your songwriting process when you're writing? Because I know you have a lot of that downtime when you're cruising around, 12-hour shifts. Is that kind of where
Mhm.
you get your inspiration, or where you kind of started writing your lyrics, or how does that work?
Well, a lot of it comes from like just from daily living and daily life, and I would I would come up with a title just out of like random something would come to me in the day. And there have been a lot of times where I would lose an idea because I either didn't sit down for the that moment in time and record it or mark down what I needed in order to remember it, right? Like either come up with a melody on the guitar and I would forget it because I wouldn't record it at the time. So over time, I learned that was one of the biggest things that I need to do is because sometimes when you're sitting there just bored strumming the guitar and then you would come up with this melody and it's like, hey, that sounds pretty good. And it's like if you don't record it at that moment, it's gone. It barely ever comes back. And with the songwriting process, like I said, I would come up with titles and some of them would be related to my life, but most of all, they're related to everything in general. I would take a title of a song and kind of like brainstorm around that title and kind of like different situations that relate to that, whether it's personal or throughout everybody else's life, just from stuff I've seen and so.
So you kind of take a song title and then kind of break it down into parts and kind of build a story from there.
Build a story around it. See, like one of the songs that you are on my album that you mentioned, it's called Shotgun, and it kind of like that's basically what I did with it. Is just I took the word shotgun and I thought about all the things that pertain to that title. And it's just like whether you're shooting a shotgun or a shotgun wedding or riding shotgun in your vehicle or shotgunning drinks. Like I put that all in a song and I kind of created it to tell a story because like a lot of people meet like going out and having drinks, socializing and stuff like that, and then you get to spend time with each other, and then you go down the road into marriage, right? So I kind of I took the first part of it, like shotgun, and made it about just going out having fun. And then the next part of it is like you meet somebody, and now they're riding shotgun with you in your vehicle. And then the third part of that song was about having a shotgun wedding. It's just like nothing planned, boom, here we go. So it's kind of like it's got a storyline, but at the same time, it all just flows just based off that one idea.
And knowing you for how long I have now, and kind of watching you actually, like when we're on the road or we've been places where you just like pull an idea out and you just start writing a song. Like I've watched you pen a song in, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. Is
Mm.
that often the case with your songwriting, or like when you
Uh,
write, like you grab that idea and then you can just let it flow, or is it usually, over time?
well, most of the time, it depends on how happy I am with the product in that moment, because you know how it is. Like you get a moment of inspiration, and like I said, if you don't take it then you kind of lose the process of that in that moment. So then over time, like there have been times where, just like you said, I could write a song in 5 minutes, and that would be something that I'm happy with, because it's sometimes it usually just comes out in that order, and comes out how you hear it. And a lot of other times I do take a little bit of time to work on parts of it, because it just doesn't work for me.
Right. So we have a question here from Danielle, and she says, "Who are your musical and songwriting influences?"
Songwriting influences. I really, hmm, that's a good question. We'll start with my musical influences. Like I like Morgan Wallen, and like I've got a wide range of musical taste, and it's hard to just single out certain artists, because they're just all so talented. And whether it's rap or classic country, modern country, whether it's techno music or pop or all that stuff, and rock and everything. It's just basically, if it sounds great for me in that moment, it's something that it doesn't matter what kind of music it is. If it just has that melody or a catchy beat or something like that, that's what I'm basically listen to. And like I said, there's a lot of artists that do that, so I don't have any particular artists that ring that bell. Like I've been asked this a lot of times, who's your favorite artist? And I don't have a favorite artist, because I have a lot of respect for music in general, whether it comes from whatever genre. So
So whatever you're feeling in that moment, whatever your emotions connected to,
mhm.
I'm the same way. My Spotify algorithm, I swear,
Oh.
it just knows what I'm feeling. I'll just put it on and it'll just carry me through whatever I'm going through, and it just like gives me that little hug sometimes. It's it's crazy how it
Yeah,
works.
and that's the thing. Like that's the thing I like about it, is it's just because different genres of music, that's exactly what they are. Is that. And just like when it comes to like rap and stuff like that, it's a lot of rap is about.
So, um, Masi Cho James Nizu Chelaquazelio. Ja Theltu in a moment here, then a heliast here. Yeah, I telotsi Anthony Daily, then a honest Hanaza. A Kani Thele Gaulie Lucho Toyozi Lucho Toyozi or nothing, Yanni. I didn't get Bahalias Tia. I wanted to record something a year kola do disa, but Duhu, I just saw her Bezida Thraza. And I just reached out to her. So then I have a conversation. Make sure share out there, yeah, live feed and Alice Rigney. A bahal hun tauke for a little bit, as a saladun zinige Saturday afternoon, dunga being done, yeah, episode record us slow on yaza. mental health gabion, but tomorrow night I'll be live for sure. Yeah, Claudia, mental health boss. Yeah, it's always important. Dogenund asi, but don't the caritiaza. Zinnig the round dance nati. Ba is a yerelt eile. Hey, yerelt eile dodi. Yeah, so, but I don't ile. You know, the hunds and either Chadzin und Leon das Gabi a mental health boss at so Clanton and Ahilio Gabi tomorrow night I'll be live probably hunk not on it 6 o'clock to hunk maybe 7, yeah, about 7, 8 o'clock today. Need the next see Hannah. Can't do the zone that I tell her. Or it's usually I go over TikToks but I want to show you guys the sets new sweaters. Do post us klalagani. I will show you who inade a post. There it is. There kakalke wraparounds. I tailors in the quiz about your is a very skill and baganai new. So put it on a sweater. I think very nice. Bits in well beadwork out yeah buy it unchai. Dene florals on design. Yeah. So get in touch with me. Yeah. That order on see. Sai hoodie to crew neck day. See nail shipping as a nice needed. And then next month, Saskatoon, ku March 10 nieces and 13 to 15 Tony MLTC education conference nunt I your table set up by liaison. A Helsun night the we're coming up with a new one. John, yeah. So we're gonna have about no, 3 different designs of clothing coming soon within the next few weeks, probably by the end of February for sure. Hopefully, sits in website, yeah, and al dande, you can just order through there. So it's gonna be good. So Ryan, dlanent suana tehi now. Ba kupit azedi Sant Eile Honadal. Bits only Gerland ena. Bits only Gerland ena anze Tilhurst ina. Bit Asiatkol he Elsa. Tutti Thandehi overnight yanse baluana tiona that Thande. Next morning they the Torlunga her curl the Tuana deo na legion. Boys about other taste ila. Quale dire El Nino that dila El Nino. Nino. Something like that. Esci te Tea Hesna. Onsa. Ja, also Tea Hesna. Nezu. Alla cross earlier. Tates e alla. No by Tug Claudia way. Yeah, Zamboni it's in a codens. It's in a Zuziha. Tankig and that's it. Yeah. Good day, Atlantic. Hello there, Carrie Wolverine. Nezu. Earlier doing Ziniga. Yeah, John. Duhun afternoon, yoze. Other CST. Usually I go live on Sunday night. But Jati Dao. Oh, Winter Festival. Atlanti Siganaz there. But I go shine così, Yani. Seeing tournament nunt azarzi. By Zinek is a latit other. Hey, no coin. Yeah. Base now, Nide. Tamba song goes through, yeah, base now, like a good te base, Horlium see not Ashine. Or just an issue. Plenty base now, Shnisha. Knife set. Te Sambe Halatine. Ayak ak andali. Bets in block to just an easy base. Hockey tournament dla si John Baninch hockey tournament last night. Hala sa night though. Due to over 200. Hola. Tambasana. Klart en ilknia. Bingo doen zinnige. Klart en as a der bingo. 5,000. 10,000 bingo. 40,000 bingo to. Klanet awali. 10K. Boy, Winter Festival go shinde. Red Bull sponsor as i lägen astra så I bort ensla. Trying to get that sponsorship from Red Bull. Cabaret tonight. Lines and not de. Hot a cabaret ho azina. Probably half seas over. Just the boys does not de. Just the boys Lauli Darwin. Hulje. Just the boys that do not joundala. You know? So I glad to see a video. New band, eh? Thank you, thank you. Um, I just decorated it. Change it up from the green screen, eh? Took a long while. Is that a real view? Yeah. That's a picture window right there. Can you imagine having a picture window like that? Yeah. So I was Claudia video Neltsio 1 month. I think this one. Did anybody send in a video? Life changing journey. The deadline was January 31st. So required to be on the land for 4 days. Secret location in Canada. Must be Canadian. All expenses. Yeah. I sent in my video. But I never heard back from them. So I don't know. But it's still a long ways away. 60-second video. I don't forget. I don't remember what I said in the video, but I think it'd be cool to be on the land for 4 days. It's different than Moose Jaw. I don't think it'd be that hard. Maybe with cameras around. I wonder. No experience necessary. Just make it look like I'm I'll just make it look like I didn't grow up on the res. Eh? Hi, my name is Willis Janvier. I'm a Dene podcaster. I make some TikTok videos. I haven't lived at home in a long time. I've been in the city away from my home community. I go back once in a while. Man, they eat that shit up. For sure. Oh, Jesus. Good catch. Okay, for this scene. No, I shared it. It's in personal Facebook at Shara Slani. Okay, for this scene, I want you to sit on this rock with seagull poop and stare directly. Yeah. You are going to have a spiritual connection. You'll become one with the seagull in this moment. From now on, every time you see the seagull's gathering as they do all together, foraging, scouring over the latest kill, probably garbage on the res. You will go back to this moment in time and think, I remember being on that show as the cameras were watching very closely. I had this connection, and I went back to my childhood on the res. Seagull. I go into the wild for over a week. Don't need casting call. Yeah. Well, I need a casting call. Okay. I don't live in the north anymore. Really, it's um, you know, promo experience. Man, imagine the stories I could come up with like that. Just sitting there wondering, you know, what kind of camera crew. But imagine 4 days without Red Bull, though, eh? Holy man. I would have to pack 4 Red Bulls. That would be a good time to detox off Red Bull. I got one hand in my pocket and another one flicking a cigarette. In case someone attacks me, I can throw it at them. And then I got a chance to run away. I was now that Moose Tree is here, you follow Brett, right? Brett Mooswa. I wanted to have this conversation on TikTok here, and he's been having a lot of conversation on his Facebook about just like content creators and all that stuff lately. Have you noticed? I think you even commented on a few there. But I was gonna have this conversation tomorrow, actually, on TikTok, and I understand what he's saying. It's you know, and then he says, if all influencers got together and scrapped it out, who would win? Yeah, F around and find out. I said, but I'm very curious of where this came from. You know, like this is the one that kind of started it all. Was the I'm getting old. Everything's so corny to me, even me, TikTok is so cringy. Sometimes our little activist videos are so self centered and maintain viewership and following, land back this, sacred that, with no real motive or pursuit other than the pursuit of self. Even subconsciously, we're rewriting our brains to make it about ourselves. We want people to see how about the cause we are. Social media does that, though. Yeah, I totally agree with that one. Social media, it really takes over your life. Um, do you remember when you first started streaming and you just like you wanted to work, right? I know I was in that position. I was like, man, I made a few videos. Of course, I got this rush. I was like, oh man, 1,000 views and 2,000 views, 3,000 views, and I'm like, what is gonna be my next video? Who am I gonna interview next? You know, I was so obsessive. My screen time on my phone was just like crazy, crazy. So I understand what he means, but I mean, I think I went through that, like, in the beginning stages, and no, and with no self control, it eventually controls us. Yeah, I definitely have gone through that in the beginning of this, but but. I don't like make videos like he does. Podcasting is a little different. And streaming too is a little different, I guess. Content creators streaming, podcasting. I don't know. There's just too many of the nonsense terms there, but you know, everyone wants to be right even when they know they may be fundamentally wrong. I don't know, I'm just frustrated and old, I guess. But I wanted to have that conversation on you know, it's always I always try to use my experiences. I always bring it back to myself, and I was like, I went through this. Not that I'm going to talk about myself, but I don't like to. I'm an alcoholic, cocaine addict in recovery here, you know. When people said you should do this, I never listened to that. So why should I? So I always bring it back to I acknowledge what I done this so that it creates conversation. You know, that's my motto. And how can we make it easier for other people to have the same conversation? But I agree with the social media taking over, and a lot of mine is shared live experience. So older and younger people know they aren't the only ones who've gone through there. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah. Sometimes people think they're alone and no one understands. And I, in a joking manner, most of the time show them that they aren't alone. Yeah. Yeah. You need that affirmation, eh? But I guess this, I mean, his post is more directed at more of them activist videos that, you know, maybe that's, I would like to interview him and kind of pick his brain, and I don't know, stuff like that just gets me interested, you know. You see, what else should we get mad about today? Let's talk about nepotism in CNC and other places it happens. So maybe what priest? Yeah, I've never. Yeah, it's excuse me. It's priest on chief and council in southern Manitoba. Oh man. In southern Manitoba. Where is that? Oh yeah, I seen that video. Um, Popular River, Popular River Ministries or something. Yeah, that one's on Facebook. Rivers of Hope Ministries. Yeah, I know. Even I watched it. I was like, holy crap! Did he just say this? Like, what kind of denomination is it? Must be a Christian, you know? Hallelujah. Man, I gotta find that video. That's another good TikTok conversation too. Normally, I don't really, I don't really speak English on here, but I see that you're on here, so you know, so I'm speaking English. But I just try to keep this page all Dene as possible. That's why I go stream on TikTok and have all these different conversations. Poplar River Ministries, Rivers of Hope. Get rid of your ribbon skirts. That ain't gonna save you. Something like that, eh? That is crazy. It's gotta be on TikTok. Yeah. But anyways, I think I'm gonna go over to the gymnasium. This skinny little body is getting thinner, and I'm gonna go work out before tonight's game. So have a good day, everybody. Masi choner hosia dun zinige no baralyan leo te suwa teo na tha kole. Masi cho.